So first you're going to want to add a photo. Use your CMC headshot, have it in a place on your computer that you can easily find, and click Add a Photo. Choose the file. In this case I have it on my desktop. And I have headshot and upload. Okay, so you'll want to watch this next step very closely. Notice that right here I have the URL for my page. It's not a very pretty URL, linkedin.com/pub/william-humphrey/ some other stuff. Now I'm going to choose my vanity URL. Now they don't make it really easy. Notice how I've clicked that. You need to come over here to the right hand side and customize your URL. My suggestion is use a variation of your name. As we talked about in class, if you have a fairly common name, you may want to use a middle initial or find some other way to stand out. But you definitely need to have your name. And as you go along, it'll tell you if your URL is available with this check. Let's see if William Humphrey is available. It is not, so definitely have to go with more in my name. Perfect. Set the custom URL. Make sure that your profile is visible to everyone. You can now see that your customized URL. Perfect. We're ready to move on. So now we're going to focus on other portions of the page. So a good place to start is Experience. And I need to make sure I'm in edit mode. So click Edit Profile. On the instructor role, you want to click Edit, put in the location, Lubbock, Texas area, and from your resume, copy and paste your bullet points right in here. Copy bullet points here. Remember that when a recruiter looks at your experience, they expect to see some context. If they don't see your resume, you want them to see the information that they would have seen otherwise. Let's just say that I also hold a position with University Student Housing. So the company name is Texas Tech University. Choose that. The title is Community Assistant. And I really want student housing in there. So let's just say Texas Tech University Student Housing. Location. Now you'll actually fill in all these details. Click Save. Oh, they do require you to put a start date. And I currently work here. So notice that with Community Assistant, it shows the Texas Tech logo. For my work with the Rawls College of Business, it actually shows the Rawls College logo. So choose the appropriate entity, Texas Tech University, Rawls College of Business. Customize the department name, and you're headed down the right path. In class, I talked about Behance.net. It's a really good site for visual portfolios. Now notice that it's prompting me here that I can add a URL or upload a file. Well, let's just say as one of my bullet points as a community assistant that I did some work on marketing. So I've already created a nice little portfolio over at Behance.net. I put that in there. This little circle thing shows that it's working, and I want to say university, student housing, and then you want to give bullet points describing the work. Remember also, you can upload files as well. So if you worked on posters or you worked on brochures or any other type of project, you can post it up there. And to add those to different sections, you just click this plus sign. Notice it says we can do a video, an image, a document, or a presentation. Before we forget, it's really important to make sure you have a strong summary. Now, one of the things that we designed in this class was to make it to where the work you were doing throughout the class, such as the elevator speech, the About.me profile, and LinkedIn, all tied nicely together. I've taken my About.me page and I've copied my profile. I'm going to add my summary. I've copied it onto the clipboard, and I simply paste it. Now, I want to make sure that there are nice, clean paragraph breaks. And then I am going to save this. Next, I'll upload my resume. Okay, so one of the key goals during your career development is to get your resume in front of people. As I mentioned, LinkedIn is a great way to have your name out there, but you still want them to see the file. So let's upload a file. Let's go to my desktop. I have my resume already saved up there. It'll take it a second. Okay, now our file is uploaded. It shows a visual of there's our resume. It's got the file name. So I'm actually going to put my name, Lynn Humphreys resume. And with the description, I'll put something like 2013 resume for Texas Tech University, marketing major, and Humphrey. Save. Perfect. So there's our summary and there's our resume. Let's click that. And there you have it. My resume is now on my LinkedIn page. Most likely, you'll probably want to have your education first, just like on your resume, and that's really easy to do. Notice that you have your experience here, education is below. Simply come to the right-hand side and drag it to the top. It will always need to go underneath your summary, but it should be towards the top. Perfect. Now I'm going to scroll down and look at skills and expertise. Now, skills and expertise is a section you want to pay attention to and update periodically. So as you go through your program and you increase your skills, you learn new things that will help you in your career, add to this. So I'm going to say that one of my skills is marketing. So, okay, it says marketing. Let's go back. You can do up to 50. You don't want to do that at this point. I also know digital marketing. I also know public speaking. Perhaps you see yourself as a problem solver. Problem solving. Perhaps you're a negotiator. Perhaps you focus on leadership. Maybe you're a management person. Maybe you focus on cross-functional team leadership. Maybe you're in sales right now. Maybe that's where you're getting your experience, sales management. So you'll want to go through and add these, and then you can simply drag to reorder. You'll want to put your most important first. And then, as with all sections, click to save. Because LinkedIn is sitting out there all the time, you'll probably want to put some more details that you probably wouldn't put necessarily in a cover letter or your resume itself. One of the sections is advice for contacting. So if you want to put your email address, like your Texas Tech address, if you want to put a phone number, or if you want to put the context in which you'd like to be contacted, like I am currently seeking marketing internships in the Dallas keep it short and sweet. You may want to be a little bit specific there on what type of internships, and it just will sit out there and say, hey, I'm not able to talk to you. You're looking at my LinkedIn page in the middle of the night, but here's filling in some gaps. Personal details. I'll make sure you save this. Not a big fan of birthday or marital status. And then interests. I would stick towards professional interests like training, technologies. I would avoid fishing, snowboarding, digital photography, just like LinkedIn said in their video. Avoid things like I'm a cat rancher. Save. So you've built the basic components of your LinkedIn page, but that's really not enough. I want you to stand out even further. So, for example, perhaps you've taken a foreign language. On the right-hand side here, you can add that as a section. Now we have a new section. So we expect that you would be fluent in English. Let's just say you took Spanish. And then you can choose between elementary proficiency all the way up to native or bilingual. Limited working proficiency, click that. If you have an interest in international business, this is a section you'll want to put in there. Projects. So I really encourage you to put the project section. So let's add that in there. So let's just say that I worked on the Rawls College of Business PhD brochure. It's going to ask me my occupation, and I'm going to say the instructor role at the Rawls College of Business. And it wants to know when this project launched, so choose when you actually put it out there. Let's just say I put that out in 2011. If it has a website, put it out there. If other people worked on it and you didn't work alone, you can add them. So if I added the team member, it would actually look to see on LinkedIn if you're connected with them. Here's the great thing about that. We usually work in teams in our jobs, and this is a great way to give credit where credit's due. So connect with the people you work with on there, add the project, and then when you save it, it'll ask them if they want to add it to their profile. As with everything else, put a robust description here. I wouldn't go over about 3 or 4 lines, and then save. Now, projects are down here, and let's go up. Notice here, instructor and project. One of the things we talked about in the lecture is that recruiters don't have a lot of information on you. And you may not have a ton of professional experience, but one way that you can show that you're motivated and you work well in groups is to be active in organizations. So let's add an organization, and I can put multiples. Tech Marketing Association. Have you held a membership role, such as vice president? Occupation. And with student organizations, just go ahead and list it under the education. So now this will nest really nicely under that section. And if your membership is ongoing, put that. If you're actually putting a leadership role, you'll want to put the time period in which you held the role. So let's just say that I did that from January 2011 through December 2011. Whoops. And then you'll want to put details of what your role was and really make it to where it's applicable and compelling for an employer. And so let's scroll back up. Remember, we moved education up here. And so there is your Tech Marketing Association. If you have gotten a scholarship or an award, you can add that section. And so might be presidential scholarship. Might even be a leadership award from your student organization. And then this might be Texas Tech University. Give the date. And then the description. It's always good to put the description there, because people outside of Texas Tech, they just won't know what these awards are or how big they are. So more context the better, and again, 2 to 3 lines maximum. Let's scroll back up to our education, and there's our award. So at this point in your career, you may not have had honors and awards or projects yet. You will, but one thing that you can put right away is courses. So perfect one that we might do is Introduction to Business Professionalism. That's BA 1101, and that is associated with student at Texas Tech's Rawls College of Business and SAVE. Now, my advice to you here is, unless you are a dual major or it's relevant to the job you're wanting, say you want to go work for a pharmaceutical company in sales, and maybe you take some extra biology classes to stand apart, then I might list the biology classes. Otherwise, I would simply focus the coursework to things that will help you with your major. Or let's say you took something really unusual and cool, like history of the Beatles. I might throw that on there just as a conversation point. But really, most of the time you're going to be focusing on your business education. Scroll back up, and there's the course. And so as you take more courses at the college, add it in there. And notice Texas Tech is getting filled out even further. And then, of course, I want to make sure that I go through. You can put your GPA here. Let's just say I've been really good. I have been active in the Rawls College of Business, ambassadors, the Leadership Council, and Tech Marketing Association. Under the description, you'll probably want to copy the bullets from your education, and make sure if you're doing a specialized track, such as in marketing, if you're doing sales or supply chain, make sure you specify that. And so I need to put my bullet points here, and then my education is complete. So it's really getting nice there. So the last section that I'll talk about adding will be certifications. And it's very possible that some of you, during the course of your education at Texas Tech, will get some certifications. For example, if you're a marketing major, you might get Google AdWords certified. And that would be Google Inc. And if you had a license number, you would put that there. So let's just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll want to put the year, and if there is an expiration, you want to place it there. Some examples of this would be if you are an MIS major and you get a certification for a certain type of technology. This really looks good for you when you're out on the job market, because it's additional expertise, and it's got a seal of approval that you've done this. So any certifications you've gotten, put right there. So now we've spent quite a bit of time adding some interesting things. Now the version that I'm showing you here, I've put placeholder text, but you'll want to go through and prioritize. So again, we've got our image at the top, our summary, education, experience. If we've got jobs we've held, we've got those there. I would drag additional information down to the bottom because it's really not the most important thing. I would then move up skills and expertise. If you have certifications, maybe move your honors and awards, organizations. And remember, even though we have these down at the bottom, they're still going to show up nested underneath each of the individual sections. So put these in the order you think makes sense, and if you've associated them with a job or your education, it's nested nicely there. See how great this is coming together? So we build our profile, and it's really, really important that you not just build it and leave it. You then need to take the steps to start actively networking. So the search bar is really helpful. I'm going to search for Rawls College of Business at Texas Tech University. Hey, there's a group there. They're 2071, and we encourage you to join that. So as one of the parts of the assignment is we will check that you've joined this group. So join, and your membership will be approved in a bit. Now, I would also like you to join a couple of other groups. So that's going to take a little bit of digging. So perhaps you're interested in finance industry professionals worldwide, or maybe you're interested in private equity, venture capital. But let's click this one, see what the group is. Introduce yourself to group members. They usually will tell you what the goals are. There's jobs that you be considered for. If you join, make sure you go back and look at your settings for the group, and you set it so that you don't get a daily digest. And here are the jobs that are available. So I would like for you to join 3 different groups: the Rawls College of Business, and a couple related to what you might want to do with your career. There's some neat ones out there. Okay, so you've already joined some groups. Next, you need to follow some companies. So I'm interested in Southwest Airlines. Okay, so let's search companies for Southwest Airlines right there. So there's Southwest Airlines, a company. I can follow them. And let's click in and see what the page actually looks like. So there are 14,000 employees on LinkedIn. If I were connected to more people, I could see actually who might be in my network, who I might be introduced to. So follow 2 companies. I'm also interested in Virgin America, another airline, and I'll follow them. And your goal is to start following these companies so that you can keep in touch with them. So when you start interviewing with them, you know more about them. A great suggestion would be to follow some of the companies that are coming to the career fair. Okay, so we followed 2 companies. Now, let's look for some influencers. So click on network, interest. We'll click influencers. Let's close out of this. And there will be a list. Said close. So let's look at influencer posts. And you can scroll through and see some news. Actually, some really interesting blog posts. Or look at all the influencers. Like there's Richard Branson. I said that I like Virgin America. He's the founder. I'll follow him. Ariana Huffington, founder of the Huffington Post, I might follow her. If I'm interested in venture capital or entrepreneurship, I might follow James Caan. Oh, there's Mark Cuban. Let's follow him. So start following some of these folks on LinkedIn, and then in your newsfeed, you'll start seeing things related to their companies. Oh, and by the way, when you do each of these, it will share that information in your contacts timeline. Why that's important is somebody might see that and say, hey, I actually know somebody who works there. So definitely worth the time to go ahead and follow some people. And for the assignment, follow 2 bloggers, 2 influencers. Okay, so now we're going back and just looking at our profile. I would have my connections on here. Notice that as we've done things to our profile, it shows it in the summary. You can see that I started following, at a new profile photo. So it tells people what you've been doing. My profile strength is expert. It's not all-star. To have a 100% complete profile, I need to start requesting recommendations. Even though that's not required for this assignment, there's just not enough time to get them. Start thinking about who might be a good recommendation for you. To see all the points that we'll be looking for on the LinkedIn assignment, we will have a rubric posted on Blackboard, and it will also be reviewed in class with your discussion. Please watch very closely with the deadlines for this. No late assignments accepted. Thank you very much.